So over the past few days, people have been talking about Shedeur Sanders, the worst quarterback statistically they ever seen, and just talking all this down, just talking down on the young man. You know what I'm saying? But I realized something. We've been talking about stats, and I didn't really get to delve into what the stats or what the stats they've been using actually means. So I'm gonna do that in this video. But before we get into that, my name is Will, and this is BTSN. Now, I don't know how many of y'all seen the video I did yesterday about Chris Fedor, right? In that video, I had a segment in there where I let Cody Kessler explain what QBR was. So you might want to watch that video if you haven't watched it. So I'm gonna put the card over here, and if you ain't seen that video, go ahead and check that out before or after, whatever. You might want to watch it now or watch it later, whatever. But it tie into this video right here. I ain't really here to even bash Chris Fedor no more, or even really defend Shedeur. Shedeur, he was a rookie last year. He gonna get better, no matter what his stats was. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I want to kind of break down some of the stats that Chris Fedor did, mention in the video. So I got a clip that I think will kind of help to illustrate, the CPA and the CPOE. So go ahead and roll it.
3rd and 9, big play. Sanders with time to the sideline. Tough throw for Jeudy, and Jeudy has it intercepted. It's picked off by Jalen Johnson.
Okay. First things first. Jerry Jeudy, you got to catch that ball, man. I know, look, we always watching it. We were watching it when it happened. We all we caught it. Because, by the way, that was a dime. That was a dime by Shedeur, right? Somehow, Jerry Jeudy dropped the ball. And it wound up being an interception, right? So now, if you look at that play, two things happened on that play. If you look at that CPOE, that was a great play for Shedeur, right? Jerry Jeudy dropping the ball don't affect that, right? But if you look at EPA, because Jerry Jeudy didn't catch that ball, that affects Shedeur's EPA. Because EPA is expected points added, right? So it take into account whether the receiver catch the ball. So that's what I was trying to say yesterday. It's bro, some of these stats is they're not all just based on the quarterback. Now with CPOE, you can kind of say that's a quarterback stat. You can say that's a quarterback stat. You can say that's a quarterback stat, right? Because like I said, that would the fact that he caught a difficult ball, or the ball was he double covered? No, it was just a deep ball, and he was tightly covered, Jerry Jeudy, right? Off of that alone, the CPOE for Shedeur on that play would be high, right? So you know what? Let me just go ahead. I'm gonna read the definitions of them, right? So EPA measures how much a play changes your team's chance to score points, right? So it's simple. If it's 3rd and 8, and let's say Shedeur throw an 8-yard pass, right? Then that's neutral as far as EPA. Let's say it's the same thing, 3rd and 8, but Shedeur throw a 15-yard pass and complete the pass, then that'll boost his EPA. But if it's 3rd and 8 and Shedeur throw or tries to throw a 12-yard pass, and say he gets sacked, or say something like that happened where the receiver catch the ball or bumble the ball and it's an interception, that negatively affects Shedeur's EPA. So again, bro, it's like these stats is just they not all the way quarterback stats. So like for people to judge Shedeur based off of them, I feel like it's unfair. So I got another clip, another Jeudy clip, right? I know y'all all remember this play. It happened during the Raiders game. It was the Shedeur threw Jeudy the ball. And matter of fact, I'm gonna just play the clip. I ain't gonna even display it. Go ahead and roll it.
Off the play fake, he'll roll the pocket. He's been rolling it an awful lot today. He'll set up and throw, and he's got him, man. It's complete to Jeudy. Inside Raiders territory, fumbled the ball. It's picked up by the Raiders. Jeremy Chin knocked it away, and Roberts fell on.
So again, the completion. It was a completion, right? So the CPOE, that'll be good. It was a big gain. You know, once the ball is completed, then Shedeur's like, he good. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got to worry about as far as that's the CPOE, right? But now the EPA. Because Jeudy fumbled the ball, it negatively affects Shedeur's EPA. So again, that's why you heard, if you watched G. Bush's video Saturday, he played the Chris Fedor clip too. He was like, oh, he one of these EPA guys. That's what he mean. Bro, the EPA is not all on the quarterback. Again, it's like QBR for real. It probably ain't the same exact stat, but I'm saying it's similar to QBR. QBR, when you really look at it, QBR is really like a team stat. And I feel like EPA is also like a team stat, but they're both disguised as quarterback stats. Oh, and I just realized I didn't really fully explain what CPOE is, because I know everybody don't know what these little bogus stats is or what they even mean. So let me read the definition. CPOE measures how often the quarterback completes passes compared to how difficult those throws are expected to be. So again, man, to make it easy, right? If Shedeur throws a 5-yard dump off pass, then his CPOE won't go up none for it. It'll probably be neutral, or you get a few points. But now, if you throw the ball down the field and into double coverage, right, and the receiver catch the ball, his CPOE will jump. So again, man, it's like these stats are just. This is actually a quarterback stat though, so I can kind of give him that. This is kind of a quarterback stat, but EPA and QBR, I ain't rolling, man. When it comes to them, I ain't rolling, because there's too much stuff that can go wrong, and I don't understand why they would make a stat. I don't know who made these stats up. I almost want to say ESPN made these stats up. I'm not sure though. But these stats wasn't always around from what I could have swore I seen earlier, because I was like trying to research for this, because it's like, to be honest with you, I'm not a CPOE guy. I ain't even know what it was for real. I'm like, what is that? I was talking about EPA yesterday, EPA and QBR. The CPOE joint, that's new. So to me. So now, what I also didn't really get to really delve into is Shedeur's touchdown to interception ratio yesterday. I kind of briefly touched on it, but I ain't really get to, you know what I'm saying? I was talking fast. I got excited. Okay, but he threw 7 touchdowns and 10 interceptions last year in 7 games, right? Now, again, that's not the worst we've ever seen. It's just not the worst we've ever seen. In fact, it's been plenty of great quarterbacks that had worse outcomes in their first 7 games, right? Now, I got a clip. You know I stay with the clips. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the clips. I got a clip of Renneker from the Dogs podcast, right? And it's funny because he stole my thunder. I was gonna do this, but since he did it, it made it easier for me. I'm gonna just stitch it on in there. So he was talking about the other quarterbacks that had similar struggles, and you'll be surprised by some of the names on here. So go ahead and roll it.
Now let's look at some notable quarterbacks and how they performed in their first 7 games as a rookie. Peyton Manning went 2-5 with 8 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. Troy Aikman didn't win a game, 0-7 with 4 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. John Elway, 1-6, 3 touchdowns, 14 picks. And then you've got Josh Allen, perennial MVP candidate in the league right now. As a rookie, went 2-5 in his first 7 starts with 4 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Trevor Lawrence, the greatest generational prospect we'd ever seen since Andrew Luck. In his rookie season, first 7 games, went 1-6 with 8 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Hall of Fame quarterback Drew Brees, 2-5 with 4 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and Matthew Stafford, obviously the reigning MVP of the NFL. First 7 games as a rookie, went 1-6 with 8 touchdowns and 13 interceptions.
Hey man, you see it. So, like I said, man, when you look at the 7 to 10 7 touchdowns, 10 interceptions ratio, you know, those numbers, they not good. They're not good, let's be honest. But they not as bad as people trying to make them out to be. You know what I'm saying? And plus, let's not forget, this dude didn't have no starting reps in practice. He was basically I don't say he was being sabotaged, but he was being mishandled. So you factor that in, then you factor in receivers dropping the hell out of balls. You factor in everything, as you should, when it comes to EPA and QBR. But these other people, they not doing that. They like, okay, well, his QBR was this. It was low. It was super low. He sucks. Or his EPA was low, so he sucks. When, as I just showed you, that's not the whole story, man. That's just not the whole story, man. Like, both of those stats, your teammates can affect your stats dramatically. So, like I said, man, y'all let me know what y'all think. I just wanted to do a little follow-up video, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I didn't really break down what I meant. I missed some points, so I just like, let me come back with it. Plus, we over 500 now, so now you can hype me up. So go ahead and hype me up. You know what I'm saying? If y'all hip to what that is, that's hit the hype button down there. You know. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe too. So at the end of the day gotta end. But before it does, tap into BTSN and go Browns.